surprises. How we got our Bible. You know, it's interesting to contrast the so-called Gnostic Gospels with Luke. Luke is clearly the subject of very careful investigation. He himself says so in the first chapter, but even more than that, Sir William Ramsay, an unbeliever, set out to prove that Luke's history was filled with errors. And he spent a lifetime of painstaking study in which he wrote, Luke's history is unsurpassed in respect to trustworthiness. That's his summary. And he wrote a book on that subject that's available. So he went through all the details and verified all of them, much to his shock, and obviously became a very convinced supporter. And it's an orderly account. The Gospels we have are an orderly account of verifiable details. The Gospels we have are designed for an intelligent decision. They're not simply collections of mystical speculations that can't never be resolved. The Gospels we have are confirmable with historical details, cities, seas, ships, geographical minutiae. They have been confirmed by archaeologists all through. That's a whole, we could spend a lot of time on that. Augustine said it pretty clearly. If you believe what you like in the Gospels and reject what you don't like, it's not the gospel you believe, but yourself. One of the things that's very important to understand, you'll find many pastors, people who call themselves Christian, that are selective in what they accept in the Bible. Big mistake. Because you're going to discover, sooner or later, that it all ties together. And as somebody says, sort of like a knit dress, you pull it one place and the whole thing will unwind, you know. That's really true. You take one thing and decide to reject it, you'll discover that there's so many things. A good example is the creation in Genesis. Well, I don't believe in 6 literal days. Well, you got a big problem, not with Genesis, but with Exodus 20, verse 11. Because God himself, with his own finger, wrote it in stone. Verse 11, chapter 20, that he expects us to understand with 6 days. Well, that may have some problems. Check them out. And once you go through that, go through our exposition in Genesis. And you'll discover suddenly everything else gets clearer. No, you want to tie it, it's a package. It's a package. You want to be careful. The Gnostic Gospels are sort of do your own thing kind of things. Everybody likes that today. I have my way, you have yours, that's fine. Be careful about the popular paths. Remember what Jesus said in Matthew 7. He says, enter ye in at the strait gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. Because strait is the gate and narrow is the way that leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. So if you're going through a gate and it's crowded, you got the wrong gate. You got the wrong gate. Where did the Bible come from? You know, Lee Teabing, the expert in the story of the Da Vinci Code, says the Bible is a product of man, my dear, not of God. Wrong, wrong, wrong. It's not true. That's an uninformed assessment. I use this so often, people make fun of me by doing it, but it's really true. 66 books penned by over 40 different guys over several thousand years. We discover it's an integrated package. You say you can't prove the Bible. Yes, you can. The one reason I'm so hung up on this isn't just because you'll understand the Bible better when you discover its integrity as a whole. But more than that, once you understand that, you can prove it's true because it describes history before it happens. And that no other book on the planet Earth can do that. And by that, you verify that Jesus Christ really is who he said he was, and he in turn then authenticates the rest of it for you. Because it had to come from outside space-time. You can prove that. You can't prove the Bible. Yes, you can. Do your homework. And it has design features that are impossible to even simulate with a computer. The genealogy of Jesus Christ, the first 11 verses of Matthew are very well known. But there's another one that's not as well known that's even more profound. The last 12 verses of the Gospel of Mark are controversial. Some of your Bible says a little footnote, they were added later. Wrong, wrong, wrong. Those 12 verses were expurgated by the Gnostics in Alexandria. How do I know that? Very simple. take the mathematical properties of those verses and try to simulate them with a computer. It turns out you can have 4 million computers for 1 million years and still not accomplish it if you're going at it in terms of random variation. The sevenfold structure. It's not just 7 words that every number is divisible by 7 exactly. The number of words, the number of letters, not just 2. There's 35, in fact 75 features that are present in those verses. A scribe writing by hand centuries ago couldn't have fabricated those features. And it's in Greek, which every verb has 5 conditions that you not like English, not like Hebrew. You can play games with Hebrew. It's designed that way. Even English has got a lot of flexibility. Not Greek. And it's in Greek that it has this incredible, there's a security system that never rusts or wear out, and it's looking out for you. And all of that's covered in some of our materials. We learn the Bible in 24 hours. Even our survey of the Bible deals with these issues in it. If you're not familiar with them, I encourage you to dig into it.